Okay, I hit the record button. Still have a few minutes to go. If anybody has any questions, I'll take a look at the question box down here and just see if anybody has anything. Hey, Bob Bulger, thanks for coming in today. Okay, beautiful. And Janice, good to see you, Janice, back again. We have Sharon and Janice and Marty and Arvid, Betty, Larry, Marty. Got a good crowd on the line today. Perfect. So I'm just going to wait a couple of, I have about 1 minute of on my clock. We'll wait, and I'm going to just see if anybody's on the telephone. Most people use their computers, so that's great. That means there's no cost. Trish just came on. Everybody's on their computer. Nicole Klein is offline. Okay, beautiful. So no phone problems. And I think by now you folks have the message that if you're going to use the telephone, of course, there's a Canada number and a United States number. Yes, and Katie, I hope Katie's wants to avoid any problems of last week. But you know what, Kate? Hey, let me tell you something. Last week we were on the phone or on the computer, and remember I kept saying hit *6 to everybody. Well, I'm an idiot because *6 is for people who are on the telephone. And I think Annette, hi Annette. Annette's on the phone, but Annette absolutely knows to call the U.S. number. But I was saying *6, and all of you folks are on your computer, and you're looking on your computer and say, what's *6 on the computer? And that was to the telephone. So I went brain dead last week, and I apologize for that because I was given instructions for people who were on their telephones. So if there is a problem, and it's usually in the go-to-meeting session, you have to go into your settings to mute your computer microphone to get away from the keyboard noise and things like that. So *6 is meaningless, and that means that Mike, I guess, is a moron. So I guess that's what that means. Okay, and I'm glad that I didn't open myself up to have a bunch of people saying yes, you are. So thanks for that kindness. I think that's much appreciated. Okay. Hey, Sherry Marsh. Sherry found time to come in. I know she's been very busy. That's great. Just another couple of seconds. Have a great crowd on the line today. Ken, thanks for coming in. Ken, Catherine, John, Joe, they're all in. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Hey, listen, I received a phone call earlier today before we go into the slideshow presentation today. This is a sales meeting. Remember that. This is a sales meeting. You are salespeople. You have activities to do. You have programs. You have objectives. You have territories. You have marketplaces. You have things to do. And what a sales meeting is by design is just to back out of the marketplace for a little while, re-energize our batteries, pick up a few new good ideas maybe, replenish some of the things you've been doing with some new input, some new strategies, and then get back out in the field. I've said it 1,000 times, sales force of mine. Not enough people know us. Therefore, objective number one is to go out and shake hands, get in front of people, meet more people, bring our personality into the workplace. The people you meet, they have so many options that we want to get into their world, and we want to make an impression on them that we are good, solid, happening, fun-loving people who can help them. That's all we want to do. That's all business is today. And let me tell you something. We are all, you, me, everybody, we are going to hit the fence sometime. We're going to hit the wall. We're going to get tired. We're going to say, this isn't working. Well, it can't not work. Sales cannot work, but meeting people has to work. So if not enough people know you're alive, you can always make that work. So don't tell me it's not working, because we can make it work by getting up, getting out, and making more people glad that we came into their life with a sense of humor, with questions, with eye contact, with listening, with interest. And there's an old saying, if you want to be more interesting, you are an interesting person, Be more interested. Be interested in other people. Be interested in their past. I have a neighbor downstairs. He's 92 years old. Now, you'd think at 92, you'd be looking for a forum to dump your wagon to anybody who'll listen and hear about my life. I'm 92. I don't have much more to go, so I want to share my life. But this guy is quite the contrary. He's asking me, everything about my wife. He is interested in us. And as a result, we are immediately interested in him. That's a key lesson, folks. Nobody does it. We talk about it, we read about it, we do all this stuff. Stop talking and be interested in other people. Get them to talk. Take the time to send them a note. That's important. It's easy. So don't tell me it's not working. Tell me you're not meeting enough people. And how do you do that? You go up, you stick your hand out and say, "Hi, I'm Mike. Glad to meet you. What do you do? Why do you do it? How do you do it?" That sounds pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to get started here on the program that I have outlined. Before we do, let me just run back. Aloha, Mike. Hey, Oli, how are you, Oli? Oli, aloha, Mike. That means Oli must be in Hawaii. Holy cow! I'm joining you this morning from Kalua Kona, Hawaii. How was that for dedication? Oli, you are the man. You get the gold star. All the way from Hawaii. Holy cow, that's further away than New Jersey, I think. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the map. Okay, so hey, look at that. Joe By sent that in. What a guy Joe By is. And he sent that and he said, Mike, I saw a clock today that reminded me of you. And he sent that. And I got a chuckle out of that. But more importantly, other than the clock, thanks, Joe, for that. Incidentally, I thought that was great. You gave me a good laugh today. But the message, how powerful is the message? Do it now, folks. Do it now. I received a phone call from an associate, a business associate of mine this morning, and he said, "Can you check this email? I'm going to write to somebody." And I said, "Well, if it's important, don't write. Pick up the phone, talk to them, do it now, get it over with. Don't leave your fate to the email. Pick up the phone and get it off your chest or whatever you have to say. Do it right now." And on Sunday, I was over in St. Pete talking to a friend of mine, a personal friend, and he had mentioned that a pharmacist years ago, when he was 13, gave him a job, and he'll never forget what he learned from the job. I mean, he's 68 years old today, and when he was 13, a man taught him something in business, and he said, "I remember that lesson to this day." And I asked him, I said, "Well, do you know where the guy is?" He goes, "Yeah, I know where he is. He has a website." And I said, "Have you ever told him how much he means to you? I mean, the guy's got to be 85 by now." And I said, "Pick up the phone right now. Sunday, it's 10 o'clock. The guy's probably awake. Pick up the phone and dial the numbers, and before you know it, you'll be talking to the man." And I'll do it next. No, don't do it next week. Don't do it next month. Pick up the phone and talk to the guy. Well, he did. He did. And he hung up with a big smile on his face, and I'm sure that the 85-year-old guy had a bigger smile on his face. Do it now. You want to write to someone? Do it now. You want to call someone? Do it now. Be an action person. Everyone else has good intentions. You know what I'm talking about, and they put things off. Pick up the phone and find out. If it bombs, it's going to bomb later too. So get it over with. Get over the hurdle. Do things now. Joe By, thanks for that cartoon. I'm going to call it a cartoon. I guess it's not a cartoon. It's me and a clock. That's not a cartoon. But thanks for that, Joe. I appreciate that. And the message, I'm going to have that. Joe, you don't know what you did, pal. I'm going to print that out and put it on my desk. So when I want to procrastinate, I can't possibly procrastinate. So you did me a great service, and Joe, that's great. And everyone else, Joe's selling these for $5. He'll put your picture on these. He's not selling too many cruises, but he's selling a lot of clocks these days. So there you go. All right. Hey, look at this. This is a very important lesson here. I received this email. Now, that's the email, okay? That's the email I received. Now, I'm going to give you a little background. A couple of weeks ago, I went down to a boat show in Miami. And I walked, and these These people spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to bring their boats, to bring their wares to a trade show. Everybody who goes to a trade show, it doesn't have to be the Miami Boat Show. Trade shows cost a lot of money. You rent the space, you get the hotel, the airfare, all of the goodies you bring. It's a big, huge investment. So this guy is standing there behind his booth, and I walk in. Now, let me tell you something about, in most cases, now boat shows maybe are a little bit different, but in most cases, people who go to boat shows have an interest in boats. I mean, I think that's just the way it is. I had an interest in chartering a boat, a sailboat in particular. So I went down to the moorings. You can see that the name of the company here is at mooringsnet.com, the moorings quotation. And I spoke to this fella, and I asked him a question. And he looked at me and he gave me an off the cuff, right out of the sky answer. And I said, no, I'm really interested. Give me a quote. I want the number. So we went into his book, and he gave me a number. He gave me a number for the question I asked. But originally he just kind of blew me off, and I didn't like it. And me, I noticed these things. A guy needs a lesson. So, any event, I'm interested in this thing. I have since signed a contract for this thing, not with this guy, but DM Burek. I guess that's his name, DM Burek. Now, this could be your name. He sent me last week, March 5th, 2 days ago, yesterday maybe, I don't know, this email. That is the email he sent me from DM Burek. Burich, I don't know who he is. That's the email he sent me. Now, I find that totally, totally bizarre, because this guy thinks he's done his work. I could call up the moorings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to. I'm not going to, but I felt like calling up the moorings and said, you got a salesman on board called DM Burek. You ought to fire him because he's worthless. I went down there to charter a $10,000 piece of equipment, and he sent me this email. Now, before I show you what this attachment is, I would think that he would open it up by saying, Dear Mike, or Dear Mr. Marshev, or something. And then he says, it was a pleasure chatting with you in Miami. There's no better vacation than chartering a sailboat in the Caribbean. And we're so happy you took the time to stop by the 57,000 other booths and spend 20 minutes with me. And with that in mind, I'm delighted to send you this quotation, which covers A, B, C, D. If you have any questions, here's my phone number. Here's my cell number. Don't hesitate to call. I love, even if you just want to talk about sailing, give me a call. I love talking about sailing. And take a look at the quote. If there's any questions, get back to me. Now, that is called taking advantage of an opportunity. I was an opportunity walking onto his dock, and he treated me as just a dumbass guy wasting his time. And I find it, folks, incredible. And if it sounds like I'm getting excited, it's because I'm getting excited. I do not want you, a member of the inner circle, good, solid, squared away professional people, to ever do something like this. This is an opportunity to position DM Burek as a squared away fellow, saying, man, Mike, I came into your life and that was your lucky day. He got up, he got out, but he certainly didn't make me glad I know him. Very, very important. And look at this, an attachment. I don't know what that is, an attachment. But what it was that. That's all it was. He didn't explain it. He didn't talk about it. He didn't embellish it. He just sent me a copy of a quotation with some numbers on it, totaling $9,300. And then he's going to go home and wonder why he's not more successful, I think. I mean, I personally find this bizarre. Now, with that, I'm going back to the message board here, and I'm looking for some message here. Trish says, I would never open that attachment, and that is all there was in the mail. Okay, so chances are, right, Trish, you wouldn't haven't even opened it. But I knew the name Moorings, and I connected it with me going there. But you're 100% right. Some people, his email should have said, "Hey, Mike, your quotation is attached. It's safe to open." Right? That's what he could have said. He could have said that, right? Sure. So, anybody else have any comments on that particular lesson right there? Boy, you better not. Please don't ever tell me that this you do something like this. It's an opportunity to position yourself. Every time you have an opportunity to position yourself as a squared away person, you've got to take it. You've got to take it. Now, let me see what Phyllis says. He did not value. No, of course he didn't value my business because he was a 9 to 5er. He just didn't care, Phyllis. He didn't care, and I'm telling you, I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure he has a family. I'm sure he goes to church on Sunday and his boys in the little league. I'm sure of all of those things. But I was also sure that he doesn't realize how difficult business is today, and then when an opportunity pops in, you've got to jump on it. You've got to jump on it. Um, yeah, and then Annette's trying to get me all right. She's already no Annette, now down, girl, down, down, down. I salute you for asking, but everything's under control here. Uh, I know a lot of agents that do this with customers and don't understand why I spend more time in interacting with my customers, says Jan Campbell. I mean, it's absolutely correct. The reason, see, here's the situation. This is what we're getting used to out there. We're getting bulletproof to this kind of treatment. So when you do it right, I'm going to notice, and you're going to stick out like a sore thumb, and I'm going to like you because you're doing it right. Uh, okay, Linda. Linda wants in because she thinks it's a seminar on a 44-foot sailboat, and she wants in. So, okay, Linda, I got you on the waiting list, hon. If anything happens, anything goes wrong, you're going to be the first one I call, and that's a great answer. Great, great. Okay. And then Sharon says he needs to join the inner circle. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Absolutely. But see, here's my point. I don't say this stuff to open up my personal life to you folks. I open it up to show you that this happens every day, all around the world. And you have the perfect opportunity to make a difference. People are just they're just beaten up by this poor service, and you can make a difference not by going 20 miles out of your way, by just appreciating somebody who calls you. If your phone ever rings, folks, think of it. There's 8 billion phone numbers I can dial. I dial your number. I mean, that is a huge opportunity. The way you answer the phone. Good afternoon, this is Mike Marsha. Good afternoon, it's Mike Marsha. I mean, totally different. One is welcoming, one is you're bothering me. So, enough on this. I think I beat this one to death, but it happens every single day. I mean, every single day this happens. I went over to my friend. There's a gated community on the other side of Florida, to the west side, this past weekend, and I pull up to the gate. You got to tell the guy that you're there. You got to give him your license and all that stuff. This kid comes to the window and stares at me. Kind of like, yeah. So what are you doing here? I mean, that's what the message he gave me. I mean, good thing I'm not in position because I'd go fire everybody. That's good thing I work out of my home here and I don't see anybody. Okay, I don't want you to be that way. That's my point. I can't control the world. I can try to influence the inner circle as being squared away people. All right. So let me see what I have here. This says, all right. Here's a lesson we've been talking about. This is the 30 greatest lead generation tips, tricks, and ideas. Okay. Now, I think that's kind of a catchy little title. That's all. I think it's a catchy little title. The 30 greatest lead generation tips, tricks, and ideas. And you notice it's by an outfit called HubSpot. Now, HubSpot, if you haven't checked them out, just Google HubSpot and join them. Just get on their mailing list. Because what you're going to see is they are going to offer the two-step lead generation program in spades. This is what they do. This is how they're successful. They throw these titles out to see who's listening. The 30 greatest lead generation tips, tricks, and ideas. So I said, hey, yeah, I like it. I like to read that. So I gave them my email and they sent me the report. Okay. This is what I want you to do. Is I want you to get one report or one paper or one article or one something. Call it something sexy like 30 greatest lead generation tips, and then just go ask people if they want it. This, the 30 greatest tips when you go to Bermuda, the 15 greatest tips when you go to Alaska. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. But these people do it all the time, and I always bite. I want to read it. It means it's good stuff. Now, I'm not in the market of hiring them yet, but they know who I am and I know who they are. I trust them. I mean, it's starting to work. So their product is very, very expensive. I don't think I'm in the market for it, but you can do the exact same thing. So that's what I'm doing now. I mean, that's theirs. 30 greatest lead generation tips. This is mine. The Moron series of the proven selling system. Now, some of you out there, now let me explain this to you. You can go on Kindle and you can buy this, which some of you have, and some of you critiqued it, and I thank you for that. That was really great. So now I have some critiques, and I have this book up on Kindle. It costs 99 cents. But I'm taking it to the next step, and I'm going to explain why I'm doing this. On Saturday, and you'll probably get this notice, on Saturday for 7 days, I'm going to offer this booklet complimentary. So for 7 days, you and anyone else can go to Kindle and hit a button and get this report for 7 days. Okay. Now, I'm doing that because I want to see how many people will say, I want it, because it's going to go out worldwide. Now, there could be 100, there could be 2,000. I don't know. I'll let you know because I'm going to do it starting this Saturday. But the people who respond to this offer, inside the book, I offer my 12-word marketing plan. So if they hit that button, I then will have their email so I can follow up. Now, I'm doing this. Let me tell you why I'm doing this. I'm doing it to see how the numbers work. Because once I understand this system, I'm going to introduce it to you. Because this book could be your book. This is my name, but that's going to be your name. This is my title, but that's going to be your title. And you are then going to offer it free on Kindle for 7 days, on Bermuda, on Alaska, on whale watching, on group cruising, on corporate sales, on whatever you want to put in your little pamphlet, booklet, whatever you want to call it. And then hopefully 2,000 people will ask for it. Out of those 2,000, 1,000 will hit your link and ask you for something else. And now you have 1,000 leads to introduce yourself to cultivate. And hopefully out of those 1,000 leads, 1, 2, 10, 20, 50 will become customers. So I'm guinea pigging this now. And if it works to my satisfaction, I'm going to open it up and share it with you. So that's what I'm doing. And this is what it is. I mean, I didn't invent this stuff. I just do it. The 30 greatest lead generation. Now they have me as a lead. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get leads. Hopefully you're going to do it and you're going to get leads. And that's what sales is all about, folks. It's not selling. It's getting yourself known in the marketplace as qualified. So when people then want to buy, they will come to you. So it's getting the leads, it's finding the leads, it's meeting the people. That's the game today. It's not selling stuff. Now that'll come, of course, because that's how we get paid, but it starts with the lead. It starts with the handshake. It starts with the I know who you are. Now, in that report, I saw this, and I wanted to share this with you because it says, according to HubSpot, Below are the type of offers in order of performance. Now, HubSpot's huge, so they have the thousands and thousands of numbers to gurgitate. So, in order of performance that generate the most amount of leads. Now, that's what we're looking for. We want to generate the most amount of leads. That's what we want. So, according to HubSpot, in rank, this is how it's done. And I just thought I wanted to share this with you. Ebooks or guides. If you call it an ebook or a guide, it's on the top of the list. Now, that's called market research, and if we believe in HubSpot, which I do. Templates or presentations is next. So I'm going to give you a template. I'm going to give you a presentation. I'm going to offer you an ebook. I'm going to offer you a guide. That's what people are responding to. And then the research, I call it a special report, but that's down to number 3. So maybe I might not do that. White papers. I thought white papers were more kind of sexy and people wanted to read them. But look, it's down to number 4. Kits. I have my marketing kit in a box. Maybe kit is the wrong word. Maybe people don't want to respond to a kit. Here's one. Live webinars. All of the suppliers offer these things. And yet, as far as lead generation goes, people are not responding to webinars as much as they are to ebooks or guides. I'm just sharing this with you as market research. On-demand videos, blogs, and then contact sales, and this is down here, demo requests. So there's the last. So demos are the last because people don't want to be bothered. So my book, if we go back one, see, that's an ebook. So at least I'm barking up the right tree, according to HubSpot, offering something that people respond to. Now, the numbers, I'll let you know if it happens, if it works. Okay, so let me go back and let me see if there's any questions. Yep, and then Ken Lawrence supports my recommendation for HubSpot. You'll get a ton of tips from HubSpot. Thanks, Ken, for that supportive email. Eva says, are you saying we can put a special report on Kindle? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. When do you think you might be able to open it up to us? Well, once I get the facts. Eva, then I will open up to you. Kindle, as you know, it was bought by Amazon. Amazon is a Kindle operation. And if you want to, just for fun, go to Google and type in the Google search box, put in the word Amazon, and then next to it, with a space, put in the word Marchev, M-A-R-C-H-E-V, just Marchev. Amazon space Marchev. And you'll go up there and you'll see, I think I have about 6 books up there now. And what happens, you can put a price on them, and they find out that ebooks, sell from 99 cents to $2.99. There's people don't spend $20 for an ebook, but $2.99, $6.99. Some of them are $9.99, but most of them are $2.99. But we're not looking to make money from that concept, Eva. We're looking to get leads. We want people to raise their hand and say, I'm interested in honeymoon travel or whatever it is. Okay, so it's a different slant. So as I get more information, I'll pass it on to you. And Joe says www.hubspot.com, lead generation, the definitive blueprint. Okay, it's a big one, but just go to hubspot.com, and if anybody wants that lead generation thing, I think I can forward that to you. If you're running out of gas, send it to me. Link to HubSpot lead generation. Okay, I'll send me an email and I'll send you that lead generation tips book. You can see what we're talking about. Okay, now let me just read what Annette has to say. What about doing this like an idea of getting you known for travel from another country? I was in New Zealand and talking with a couple that were going to be traveling to the United States, and they were not going to maximize the best use of their time. So we discussed it and changed up how to do with the least backtracking. So in other words, Annette is saying that, yes, you can have an ebook saying, when you come to America, these are the travel tips you might want to know. Yeah, absolutely. I remember, and similarly, I was talking to a group, where was that? An English group, I think, In um, I met him overseas. Let's pick a country. I think I met him in Egypt. That's exactly where I met him. And they said, we're going to America for the first time. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're going to America. And I said, how fascinating is that? Where are you going? And they said, we're going to New York. I said, well, that's fantastic. Where in New York? Staten Island. Wait a minute. You're 80 years old. You're going to the United States for the first time. How long are you going for? 3 weeks. I said, you're going to Staten Island for 3 weeks? I said, you waited 85 years to do that? And I said, let me just have a ball. I mean, I think Staten Island's a great place for 3 weeks, but, better you than me. But think about this. As long as you're over here, there's a place right up the road called Boston. There's a place right down the road called Philly. A little bit further, you can get to the capital, the state, Washington, D.C. You might want to just think about taking those 3 weeks and taking a look outside of Staten Island. Just my opinion. Well, that's what Annette's saying, is that some people they don't know. And the internet goes worldwide. So yes, Annette, great idea. You can position yourself as the incoming source. Absolutely. Also, you give real value to your guide. Yes, of course, you've got to give, it can't be fluff. Can't be fluff in this thing. And we're not talking about these today, but no, it's got to be some solid inside tips. Absolutely. Okay. So, any event, I want to share this with you today, the ebooks, the guides. And remember I told you, and I know that some of you out there say, well, gee, this is a great idea, Mike, but I'm sure I can get it up on Kindle. I can do all of that, but I don't know how to write an ebook. Well, remember this. Remember that you can go to a number of places. One of them that comes to mind is 5rr.com, and you can hire somebody to write a couple of things for you. So, they'll write something for $5, but what if you give them $20? They'll give you 4 times whatever they were going to write for 20. And if they give you the solid foundation, then you can edit it and you can tweak it and then add something to it. And before you know it, you've got something. So I just wanted to share that with you and show you what I'm up to. Now, this was the woman who wrote, this is the woman who wrote the tips book, the 30 Greatest Lead Tip Generation Tips book. And if you recall, I gave you a template a couple of months ago from HubSpot on how to write an ebook using PowerPoint. Remember, I sent you that template. Anyone who needs it again, send it to me, or I'll put it up on our website or something like that. But I mean, you have this stuff for you already. But my point is this: in the digital postcard category, I looked at that, and it was appealing to me. Now, I hope you have what I call a swipe file. And a swipe file is get a load of this, it's a file that you have in your desk that when you see things that catch your eye, you put it into your swipe file. It's you're stealing. You're not stealing, but I like that article. Rip it out, stick it in the swipe file. It's your idea file. Well, a friend of mine over in St. Pete, we were sitting down on Sunday talking about business, and he said he received a lot of junk mail, and I said, what do you do with it? And he said, I throw it out. And I said, well, do you realize the people who write that junk mail for Newsweek magazine, the Wall Street Journal, Time magazine, People magazine, I don't care who they are, they're paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to write that. And you call it junk. I mean, that's not very intelligent. You call it junk, and there's a $100,000 writer writing that stuff. I call it going to school free. You write it, I'll use it. Okay? Now, back to the swipe file. You see something you like, you throw it in the file, you go play tennis, you do whatever you want to do. Then when you're ready to be creative, you just thumb through your swipe file, and all the ideas will jump out at you. Well, this idea jumped out on me. I like the white space. I like the little dots. I like the circle. I like the picture inside the circle. I like the the byline by Jessica, and I like the 5 sentences and the links. That's easy to read. That is a postcard. You send that to anybody, and they will read it. Now, depending on what you say in it, depending on where that link goes, they will read that. They'll definitely read the headline. Okay, so I put it in my swipe file. This should come as no surprise to you. Whoa, where'd that come from? That came from this. I like the idea. I use it as a postcard. Now, who cares what it says on there right now? I just wanted to show you that this is what you can do. And people will read it. Now, if nothing else, they know the guy is still alive. Now, yeah, I know that Joe Biden's going to tell me that I'm coming out of the circle there, but I'm going to tell him that that's creativity at its finest. If it's too perfect, no one reads it. So you come out of the circle, and everybody says, "Ooh, the guy's out of the circle." In any event, that might be too many words for you. I don't know, but it's the idea is there. I wanted to share that for you. Okay, there it is. This is another postcard that's easy to read. You got your email, you got your website, you got a word. Everybody read visibility. I mean, everybody out there read the word visibility. That could say Bermuda. Now, if you're not interested in Bermuda, you might not read any further. But if you are interested in Bermuda, then you can read that tip right there. And that's your picture, that's your travel agency up top. They will read that. Why I like postcards is because they do two things. Number one, they position you as still being in the game, number one. And number two, people will read them. And there's a third point, and your information will be there for them. Speaking of which, I still don't understand why some of you, I'll say some of you, I think I mean that, I don't understand why some of you don't have a signature automatically on the bottom of your emails with your phone number on it. I don't understand that. Unless you don't want anyone to call you or you don't want them to find you. I just don't understand that. That your email should have, contact information. And the reason being is because I want to call you, but I don't have your phone number. So I'm going to procrastinate because I'm not going to dig down and find it. If it's there, I'll call you. If it's not there, I may not go look for it. So if you're in the business that you're receptive to receiving phone calls, then I strongly recommend you put more phone calls on the bottom of your emails. Now, if you don't want phone calls, then don't put them on. But don't figure, oh, he's got it. When you call somebody and leave a message, do not figure, oh, he has my number, I don't want to leave it on the voicemail. Of course he has your number, but he doesn't have it at his fingertips. When you leave a voicemail, leave your number in the beginning and the end of the voicemail, your phone number at the beginning and the end of your voicemail. So if you miss it at the end, you just have to repeat the message and it's right there in the beginning again. That's a courtesy, and people will notice those things. So let me go to the question board here and see if anybody has any questions on the postcards. Make the presentation via PowerPoint and how to generate leads with that. Would you make the presentation via PowerPoint and how do you generate leads with that? Well, you can make your presentation, you can make your offer with a PowerPoint, no question about it. And you can, as you know, if you're adept at this, if you're skilled at it, you can put voice on top of your PowerPoint. And as you know, or you may not know, you can take your PowerPoint with voice and make it a MOV, a .mov movie, and put it up on YouTube. So now you can send people an email and with a link to YouTube, and they will see your PowerPoint presentation pretty fast and on a YouTube video. So yes, you can do that, and you just have to be skilled enough to do that. But yeah, you can. Matter of fact, on the AMA group, I'm going to send them a presentation on PowerPoint. So yes, you can. How many pages should be in the ebook is the next question coming in. Um, and the answer is this: as long as it takes to cover the information, but people don't like to read. Remember that. So if you're looking for a number, I would say an ebook can be anywhere between 15 and 25 pages. That's my answer. Those 15 or 25 pages can be double spaced. They can be with a large left-hand margin. So it doesn't have to be an 8.5 by 11 kind of sheet. You can kind of have a 3-inch margin on the left, and then you have like a point per page. Now, if you have a point per page and you have 9 points, then there's a lot of white space. It's an inviting document to read. You can have it from 9 to 12 pages. A little bit about you. You might want to throw in a packing list at the end. And just you embellish it as you go on. Every year, every couple of months, you can say, "Oh, this would look this. I could add this to my ebook," and you add another page, another thought. But to answer your question, I would 15 to 25 pages. I think you're right on target. That's my answer. Now, can they be longer? Of course they can. Mine, I think the one that you saw there, the 10 tips. I think that is probably 58 pages. But now let me give you another marketing tip. This is marketing 201. This is a little advanced. The book that I showed you. Let's see if we can go flying back to it. Hold on. This thing right here. This book, I wanted to get up on Kindle. Well, there's an old speaking practice. I guess it's a practice. Is that if you write a book, you take the book and then you recite it, and then you have an audio program. You sit in front of a desk and say the same words. Now you have a video. You cut each chapter up, and now you have 38 articles. So you give a speech, and then you transcribe the speech, and you have a book or an article. So what you're doing is you're saying something once, and then finding different methods to get that same information out. So this book, whatever it's called, a report, ebook. This is basically a section out of my book called "Become the Exception," with a little embellishment. But I didn't reinvent the wheel. I took that information out of my book and turned it into a book. I took one section and turned it into an ebook. You see, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. So I don't know why that question came up, but there is the answer. Here was another postcard. Again, I think this is where I got this idea from. I like that half circle where I put visibility there. I think I got it from there. And the way I got it from here is because I was doing a program for a company out in Denver, and they wanted to do it like a recipe. And I have 12 of these cards like this. I'm picking them up. What next thinking is one. Speed wins is one. Active discipline is one. Leveraging your future, overcoming obstacles is the one you see. On the back is teamwork. And it was a recipe. So it was ingredients, kind of like a recipe. You have ingredients, and then what you do with the ingredients is the direction. So I sent them this topic, overcoming obstacles. Then you put in the ingredients, and then you put in the directions, and then you put in a photo. And it went over very big because people, I know, they're overcoming obstacles. That's a hurdle. They're getting over the hurdle, overcoming obstacles. Get it? Okay, cool. You can do this. You can do this. You can take pictures and you can put a headline and you can have just a couple of ideas with your name. Look here, 2012 or yeah, 20 yeah, that's 2012. Mike and my website. That's what you want. You want to be visible out there. And you could send one of these every 2 weeks. Now, some of you have newsletters. And I just think that newsletters I'm guessing, they might be too long for today's attention span. They might. Whereas this gets your name, your website, If I want them to call me, I'd have my phone number there, and you get your message across. And I believe that people will read this and they might not read your newsletter. I'm guessing there. I don't know for sure. Now, here's another postcard using this little book here. Send for your complimentary copy. How to avoid making the 3 biggest mistakes when taking your family on vacation. That's mine, but this is yours. This would be your title here. How to avoid making the 3 biggest mistakes when taking your family on vacation. Send for your complimentary copy, and you would have your email and your phone number, whatever it is, and that's all it is. And you just keep shooting these babies out. And if that doesn't work, you change the title. How to avoid making the 2 biggest mistakes, the 9 biggest mistakes. How to avoid spending too much money. I don't know. You can go on and on and on, waiting to see what hook hits and lands the biggest group of attention seekers. So that's how easy it is. Oh, look at this now. Let's say you wanted to write this book, How to Avoid Making the 3 Biggest Mistakes. Okay. Well, I don't know, Mike. I don't know what 3 biggest mistakes. What are they? I don't know what the 3 biggest mistakes are. Well, in most cases, you do know. Right now, you do know. But what if you didn't know? Well, what I did, just to show you, I went to Google and I put in the Google search bar. I said family vacation mistakes. Okay, that's what I put in the Google search bar, and I hit go. And this is what I got back. This and a lot more, but here, 8 mistakes. Traveling with the family, avoid these 7 mistakes. 5 common mistakes, 3 common mistakes, 3 mistakes to avoid. Now, I did this after I came up with this fictitious title. Okay, but now all you do is go to Google, put in avoid mistakes, family vacations, or whatever it is, and now you go click on these, and you're going to say, "Oh, that's not a mistake. There's a good mistake. There's one." Then you go down here, and these 5 mistakes. Well, that's stupid, and I don't agree with that. And what a moron! Oh, there's another good one. There's 2, and then you get the 3rd one down here, and you don't. And then you put those mistakes in your words with your experience behind it, and then how to avoid making them, and you got a booklet. Bingo, there it is. Now, chances are you might have 13, 16, 19. You could have 19 mistakes if these aren't all duplicates, but who knows? So you could write a booklet that says 9 mistakes, and then the next booklet 9 more mistakes. You could be like a series of booklets. But you're not in the booklet business. You're in the get people to raise their hand business. You're just using this as a reason for them to raise their hand. A lot of companies do it. HubSpot does it. I do it. A lot of people do it. Okay. Let me go to the questions here. Let's see. May I please have it again? And that be a little more specific there. I think you were looking for a number or something, but I don't know what that means. What do you think about sending electronic postcards? I like that. I mean, that's people open up their mailbox. What I'd prefer, Nancy, is not these Hallmark happy birthday cards. I mean, hey, that's personal. That's personal. I would rather have you make your own little card looks like this. Than going on and just jumping on one of these birthday cards or Hallmark cards or these other postcards. But no, I like it. I like it. Why? Because you're trying to get your name out. If you send it to me, try to personalize it so I know I'm not one of 10,000 people getting the same one. Try to let me know you're talking to me. And I have nothing against sending electronic postcards out, but I prefer a little personalization if possible. I don't know how to auto signature my emails. Okay, well, I will. I'm sure, Betty, you're not the only one. I will. I will explain that the signature on emails. I'll explain that. I stand by on that. I will I will try to do that. Um, okay, I don't include my signature, so you see the body of my message. Everyone else, I leave my signature. Okay, um, that's okay. If you have a reason for sending emails the way you do. Now, the thing about signatures, folks, once you find out how you do it on emails, you can have like 5 different signatures. You can have 30 different signatures. You can say, Mike, and my email and my cell phone. I could have another signature that says Mike Marshev, President, Big Shot, and my home phone. I mean, you can have different signatures, and you just select one at the end of your email, depending on who you're talking to. So one might be more formal, and one might not have anything. But as long as you're in control of that, that's what counts. As long as every decision you make is one because this is why I make it. I want to make it this way. I don't want to do it that way. As long as you have a reason, then that reason is valid. No question about it. But if you're sending something just to, like, this particular fellow is just sending it to me, then that's fine. The only problem I have with that is if I want to call you back, I don't want to have to go back into old emails and look for the one that has your phone number in it. See, I mean, that's why you want to make it easy for me to get back to you. And you can say, oh, he knows. I've known him for 25 years. He knows my phone number. Well, that's really not the answer, because I wanted to have it right now. I just read the email. I want to call you. There's the number. I don't want to go back into my inbox and find a phone number. Joe says, what's wrong with Staten Island? Well, I guess nothing. But if you're there, see if you can find those English people. They're probably still there. Would you use Pages to redirect for more? Yeah, when you go to my blog post, and you'll see a little paragraph and the word more on it. I want to get your attention, and if you want more, I'll give you more. So yes, Joe, the word more, give people a tease, and then if you want more information, there's more where that came from. And I recommend, flyers and documents and letters that way, that if there's, let me hit you right in the forehead with my information. And if you want more information, I got plenty more where this came from, but you opt in for that more, and you can have it. Let's see, Mike, to believe in a advertising in your email signature. Oh, do I believe in advertising in your email signature? Let me think about that. Do I believe in advertising? I believe in you telling me that this is available. I mean, there's more in it. Like, yes, if you have an ebook, I believe that you could put that in your email signature. Yes, I do. Yes, the answer is yes, Ken. I do believe in it, but not 15 lines, and just, hey, more information where this came from. Check out my ebook. Boom, click here. That kind of thing. Specials left the other finger. Okay, specials. You're going to have to answer that one for yourself. Do you get response from putting specials? I don't think. Okay, I'm going to in trouble on this one. You putting specials down is positioning you as the Walmart of travel professionals. Okay, means here's the special for today. Here's today's 10 cents off the soup, 2 soups for one. If that's what you want to do, then you can put in the specials. But more importantly, if every time you put in a special, 58 people call you up, then you answered your own question. The people to ask are your clients. Do you mind if what are your feelings about it? Do you want me to tell you about these specials? Rather than throw specials in at the bottom of an email, I would rather, I think, now that I'm thinking this through, send you an email that is specially designed for the specials. In other words, hey, Ken, I thought you'd want to know about this. You can save $20 if you go to Bermuda by 11 o'clock today. Versus just tacking on billboards on the bottom of my emails. I'll have to think about that. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get this straight. Whatever I think is meaningless to you. It's just input. What your customers think is important. How you want to run your business is important. What I'm doing is acting as a stimulator. I'm acting as a thought provoker. But you and your customers, you're the only ones who count. And instead of asking a third party, what do you think? I can give my opinion, but it's really meaningless. I mean, I think it's going to be sunny tomorrow wherever you live. That's what I think. And I hope it is sunny. But I mean, you might want to get a second opinion by someone up there who knows what they're talking about, which is your customer. Do not think that you have to have all the answers. Go talk to your clients. That's what relationships are all about. Talk to them. Find out what they think, what they need, what they want, and talk to them. And that's what you do. Okay, let me get back to this one here. Are there YouTube issues requiring caution? Can your videos be altered or distributed by others, possibly outside the parameters in which we want them used? Well, postcards are the place to start, correct? Built on that. Well, postcards are, I think, Katie, postcards, you can just send out emails directly. YouTube, once you put something up on YouTube, or once you actually do anything on the internet, I mean, you can't police the world. I mean, people say to me, they say, "Well, Mike, what if they steal your stuff?" I don't care if you steal my stuff. Go ahead, steal my stuff. I got a lot better things to do than going out and find the one person in Des Moines, Iowa, who's stealing my stuff and calling it his or hers. I mean, go ahead, whatever floats your boat. Once you put something up on YouTube, you're saying, "Hey, there it is. Go get it, baby." And that's why you don't want to put the wrong thing up there. Because once it's up there, who knows where it's going to go? Who knows who's going to see it? Who knows what they're going to do to it? You don't know. So option A would be to climb under a rock for the rest of your life because you're scared of people out there who might do something, or whatever you throw out into the world, hey, go do whatever you want to do with it. It doesn't affect me. And you let the ball bounce around a little bit. But if you're worried about protecting yourself and everything, you know who did that first was the Grateful Dead. Everybody said, go to the concerts, no recording devices, no cameras, no flash bulbs. You see it today, can't record this without strict written permission. What did the Grateful Dead do? The Grateful Dead say, bring your tape recorders, bring your cameras, record everything, take pictures of everything, and then send it to everybody you know. That's how the Grateful Dead got the following, all the deadheaders. They said, hey, steal my stuff. So that's my motto. Steal my stuff. Take it. Take it. You can even pretend. Take my letters and pretend they're yours. I don't care. Just make sure they're spelled right, because I'm going to blame you. Don't blame me. And when you do that, folks, when you live your life that way, when you go out in the marketplace, you become bulletproof. You don't care. Like it, don't like it, use me, don't use me. I'm just doing the best I can to feed my family. I'm here to help you. Now, if you don't want my help, that's fine. That's okay. But I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to fleece you. I'm not here to rob you. I'm not here to take advantage of you. I'm not here to manipulate you. I'm not here to knock you down. I'm here to help you make good travel-related decisions as they relate to your vacation, to your business, to your family. I'm here to help you. That's all I'm trying to do. And as a result, I make a few bucks on the side. That's what I do. So you just got to go find more people to help. That's it. I mean, and then with the right attitude. I don't care. Use me, don't use me. Don't send me a commission. Don't send me a commission. I have a life to live. I can't worry about that stuff. Okay. Anybody? Hey, I see Chuck came in. Good to have you on board, Chuck. Chuck and I go back 1,000 years. Let me just grab a couple of things here. You do it all the time to us. What's that sound? We send out cards. Great way to send out postcards. One of our members reminded you there's send out cards that, that's the snail mail system. Very successful. Good friends of mine send out cards. If you don't know what those are, become familiar with it. Send out cards is a good way to keep your name out there and to personalize it. Um, the template. Okay, Annette, I understand. Annette wanted the ebook template. Okay, so let me make a note of that, Annette. So I'll get everybody a copy of that ebook template. All right. And while I think of that, we're running out of time. Holy cow! While I think of that, I want to use this as another example. I said something, and Annette asked me a question, and I didn't know what she meant. So when she told me, she gave me another reason to contact her, to get back to her with a reason. So when you're talking to people about travel and they ask you a question, and maybe you don't know the answer, or maybe you don't have the materials handy. Oh, that's a great question. Give me your email and I'll get back to you. Well, communication, folks, is a back and forth. It's a back and forth. So I want you to start looking for reasons where you can get back to people with a reason. Now, Annette asked me about the ebook template. Well, now I have a reason to get back to everybody on the phone today with that template. See, I'm not bothering you. During today's discussion, we talked about the template. A couple of people asked about it. Here it is. And again, it's just the communication working back and forth. Okay. Joe By said I do, and I think he might have misinterpreted that. I didn't propose to you, Joe. I don't know what you're I doing to, but you do, I do. I don't know what that is. But anyway, thanks for the clock, Joe. I'll go back to that. The special is an everyday play. Every day, everyone has a special. Yeah. The special is an everyday play. Yeah, it is an everyday play. And oh, here's another thought that while I think about that, J.C. Penney, their strategy was their strategy was to say we provide the lowest prices every day. That was their strategy. And Macy's says here's the price, but here's a coupon for 20% off. And the study came back that people like deals. They like the 20% off of something versus, hey, I give you the rock bottom. So in that case, maybe specials, if it truly is a special, is what people respond to. So I'll have to give that some thought. Okay, I just sent you an email. Okay, I do. Okay, so but I'm not reading my emails, Joe, while I'm on the line here. But Joe sent an email with a contest in my signature to get more email leads. Okay, so there's a contest. And Joe, let me know if how many people respond to that, because again, the proof is in the pudding. Your marketplace will tell you what's a good idea or not. Okay, John. Okay, good meeting. Okay, great meeting. Thank you, John. Have a good next meeting. Let me go to the next slide here, folks, and see what we have here. Case study. The fella over there in St. Pete asked me. He said, Mike, I called the guy up and I asked him this question, and he didn't have a good answer. And why? To me, you should just go on the internet to book stuff. Well, there's a lot of people out there, folks, that don't see your value. They don't see what you're bringing to the party. So they decide, hey, all things being equal, why should I pay an extra 25 or 50 bucks? Well, the case study today and the homework today is this. Ask yourself, why should anybody do business with me? What is it that I'm bringing to this relationship? What can I do for them that they can't do for themselves? And then practice, and practice some more the answer. Why would anybody want to use you when it comes to booking travel? Which is another way of saying, what can you do for me that I can't do for myself? And that takes homework, and I want you to think about that. I also, real life experience, just so you know how all people are different, I met a guy at a Verizon phone store this week, and he said, "Oh, I just took my first cruise. I loved it." And he went on and on and on, and he loved this thing. And just to show you that people are who they are, I said, "What cruise line did you go on?" And he was very quick and very proud and very happy to say Carnival, which it surprised me. It did surprise me. I don't know why it surprised me, but it did surprise me. But he had a ball on Carnival. So, as another little exercise, assume that he said that to you. How would you respond to him? And I don't know. I have my answer, but I'm not going to tell you. But oh man, it was the greatest trip I've ever taken. Me and my girlfriend, we were on Carnival. It was incredible. Now, what? Now, he just told you that in a Verizon store. You're in the business. What would you say to him, if anything? So, just something to think about. Okay, that's the end of today's sales meeting. But I wanted to just blow this by you very quickly. Ooh, maybe I'm not going to do that. Okay, there it is. There. Um, let's see. This here is what I'm working on for AMA. I told you I'm working on something for AMA and how to sell river cruises. Cruises. Is that how you spell cruises? I guess it's cruises. I don't know. Cruises. There's an E missing. I don't know. Cruise. It's I. Okay, got to change that. Okay, spelled wrong. But any event, there's page number one, and then down the bottom, like this, the letter, and I go over to the letter, and you're going to see another a banner, and here's the sales letter, and it's going to be showing you how to use the sales letter, and then down here is how to use Google to get the names of the people you're going to call, and then you hit here, and if you hit here, watch this, what happens, bingo, there's the sales letter. So everything is going to be done for you. And then over here, if you click the follow-up letter, you click here, and then you're going to have the follow-up letter. So I'm trying to get everything down into a system, and then the handout, okay, there's a handout. So you go over to the handout page that explains the importance of the handout at the meeting, and here's the handout. Then you go to the presentation itself, and it's going to have a PowerPoint presentation for you. And then after the presentation, they say, well, what if they ask me questions? Well, here's all of the questions. And if you click here, you're going to download a question and answer. And there's 1,000 questions here that with their answers. And then you go to the skills workshop. And this is going to have skills. And I'm going to have videos, eye contact, enthusiasm, speed, motivation, persistence, follow-up. These are videos. And then you're going to go over to the cities and the rivers and the photos and the videos and then the quizzes. And the quizzes is going to be kind of like a Jeopardy game. And you hit one of these things and you're going to have like a quiz, Jeopardy game quiz. And this is the river cruising in a box that I was talking about. So I just wanted to show you that I'm making a little headway here. And pretty soon I'm going to see if we can get that out to the marketplace. And what I'd like to do, and tell me, this is the homework here for you guys. What I'd like to do, once it gets a little bit more developed, I'd like to send you, the inner circle, the pilot program, the guinea pig. I'm going to use you as guinea pigs and for you to come back to me and with your additions and recommendations. Now, if anybody's interested in that, send me an email. And I'll put you on a list of you being my pilot program. Okay, so I'm putting together the how to sell river cruises in a box, and I'm going to offer it to the inner circle first for your feedback. Now, if you want to be on the list, the ball's in your court. Send me an email. I'm not going to just send it to everybody in the circle. Send me an email, and then I'll use you as a kind of, what do you call it, a beta program, if that's what it's called. Okay, so Mike at MikeMarshev.com. Mike at MikeMarshev.com. Put box in the subject matter, cruises, river cruises, just so I know what you're talking about. And then as I get a little bit further, hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be able to send it out, and you'll be able to give me your critiques, and so we can polish it up, send it to AMA, get their blessing, and then offer it to the whole marketplace. Okay, it's a service. It's not. I'm not making any money on this. This is a service to AMA. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to adjourn today. Thanks for coming to the sales meeting. Ran over a little bit, but that's the way it works. Get back to work. Have a great Wednesday afternoon, rest of the week. Go out and make more people glad they know you. Give me your feedback, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye, everybody.